Very own personal space that helps you relax, revive, and refresh both at the beginning and the end of the day. And no matter how big or small yours is, it's so important to make sure it is a haven for peace and calmness, a place that will help you sleep soundly.
That's right, and here now to share her expertise on how you can create your own sleep sanctuary is friend of the show and interior design expert Helen Austen. Thank you for coming back on to the show. We do appreciate it every single time you're here. I learn something new. I try to take it home.
Wow.
I try to employ it in my house.
And this one's important.
This one is important because I have family members who will remain nameless that make this initial mistake. We're talking about lighting in our bedroom, and then we have a couple of different examples here. Which one, I know.
Hopefully you can you know your colors.
Because we've had this discussion before. Which one is better for our bedroom? What's the lighting we want?
The one that's further on the end. So it has a yellowish hue. So that's warm white light. So this is daylight light. So the easy way to think for your bedroom, we don't want daylight when we're trying to sleep, right? We usually want dark. So keep the daylight bulbs really honestly out of your house. They really don't belong in a home. They're more institutional. They're what you have that hospital feel where it feels a little sterile and it's just obnoxious and it does things to our neurochemicals that makes it hard to sleep and fall asleep.
And it's tough to kind of see on TV here, but I know when you pick up a box of light bulbs, they have a number on them that correlates with that. So this would be like 3,200K, and this is like 4,000K?
This might be, in the end, is 2,700. So between 2,700 and 3,000K, and anything above it. Daylight is just different, too. The rating is going to look a little different. One of the things I noticed when I bought, because I don't own a daylight bulb, I had to go buy this. So they actually called it energizing, too. So like things you don't want when you're trying to sleep, like you don't need to be energized while you're trying to fall asleep.
This is true.
Change out the light bulbs. Be mindful of the fixtures that you put in your room. Some ceiling lights actually are coming with light bulbs built in where like you can't change the lighting type that's inside of it. So if you're like doing any renovations or any type of changes to that, you might want to ask, can I actually change the light bulb in this? Because it's now a new thing where this is like the whole fixture is what it is.
And you don't want to find that out after you install it.
It'd be miserable, They're pretty, they're very beautiful fixtures, but they're not functional.
Yeah, very important to think about. Now, I think we also need to think about clutter in the bedroom.
Yes.
Important to maybe get rid of that?
Of course, and this is like true of any area. We way underestimate what the visual space of our bedrooms does to just our psychological well-being and then our ability to rest. So when you have clutter, especially in your bedroom, they're little unfinished tasks and decisions. And that is super stressful. You don't want to be looking at all that. It's like taunts you, you know, like all those things you failed at through the day. And we push them into our bedroom sometimes so that people who come over, they don't see it in your house. We put it in our bedroom. And it's wrong. We should really care so much more about the condition of our bedroom.
What do you do when it's on the spouse's side of the room?
What are you talking about?
Baskets. No, really, one of my tricks when there's a partner who's tidier than another, there are ways to kind of like corral and then set aside somewhere as long as it doesn't get too extreme. But obviously that's an opportunity for negotiation too of like what you should do. But there are ways to kind of corral it and put it away so that it's not bothering you.
I'll admit sometimes I leave laundry there. It needs to be picked up, but I'll admit, and eventually I get to it. It might not be like, you know, the
Today's the day it's going to change.
Yeah, that's right.
It's going to change.
All right. Well, let's go from clutter, lighting now. Let's talk temperature. All right.
Yes.
A lot of folks, you know, you can adjust the temperature setting in your room. Do we want it hot? Do we want it cold? I know I like sleeping cooler in the bedroom.
It's around 65 degrees, and of course, a lot of stuff is deeply personal. So if you love daylight, then do it. But there are things that we can do that we can test out to help improve our sleep. One of them, our sheets actually can make a big difference. So if you sleep hot, bamboo, you can actually, I don't know if you feel it, this feels a little cool. This is bamboo.
I like it.
And it's also great because it's antimicrobial. So cotton is always a good standard, but bamboo is another really great one. It's also sustainable. You can test out new sheets and see if you like them by just getting a pillowcase first, trying that, and see before you invest in like a whole set.
Do you have any advice on thread count then?
Not necessarily. I mean, that's personal too. Some people like the lower thread count, and some people, the higher the thread count, the more less durable it is too. So it's one of those things that you kind of got to take into account the multiple factors there and cost.
Now, we only have a few seconds left, but I'm noticing color palettes here, and this maybe isn't something that everybody thinks about when it comes to color palette options for the bedroom and what's best for creating that sleep sanctuary.
Absolutely. Blues and greens, if you want to bring some color in, and I encourage you to do that. are best. So soothing greens and blues. Think of nature, things that kind of bring our blood pressure down, help you relax. Think of your favorite spa that's well decorated or your favorite hotel. They are doing things just like that to help make sure you have a peaceful, restful place to actually fall asleep at night.
Yeah, because they want you to come back and visit, right? Well, you want to do the same thing in your bedroom. Go get a restful night's sleep. Helen, thank you so much for being here this morning.
Thank you.
Great tips for everybody.